Howdy. Welcome to the Texas A&M University College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences Peer Programs STEM Education Series. Today, students from the Blinn Veterinary Technology program will present Pathway to the Purrfect Career. For many, the idea of working with animals for a living sounds like a dream job. However, life as a veterinary technician is not all cuddling kittens and playing with puppies. Our Blinn Veterinary Technician students will describe the rewards and challenges associated with achieving this career goal. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Howdy and good morning, everyone. In honor of Veterinary Technician Week, we have been invited by the Texas A&M University Peer Program to speak with y'all about the veterinary technology profession and why we think it's a perfect career option. Let's start with who we are. Howdy, I'm Brittany, and I'm a second year veterinary technician student.
Howdy, I'm Erica, and I'm a second year veterinary technician student.
Hello, I'm Ariel, and I'm a second year.
Howdy, I'm Haley, and I am a second year.
Howdy, I'm Katie, and I'm a first year.
Howdy, I'm Bo, and I'm a first year.
We are students from Blinn College's Veterinary Technology program located in Bryan, Texas. Our program is a 2-year technical program that is accredited by the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Upon the successful completion of our program, students are awarded an Associate's in Applied Science degree in Veterinary Technology and are eligible to sit for their national and state credentialing exams. Successful completion of both exams leads to the conferring of Licensed Veterinary Technician, or LVT status, by the Texas Veterinary Medical Association, or TVMA. In essence, we are in this program with the intention of becoming licensed veterinary technicians.
So what does being a licensed veterinary technician mean? I mean, isn't that the same thing as being a veterinary technician in a practice? Not exactly. Let's take some time to clarify some important terms in the veterinary field. It can be confusing to differentiate job titles. The differences in these job titles are mostly based on education and experience levels. Let's dive in. Veterinarians. These are the people that have completed a 4-year bachelor's degree in addition to 4 years of veterinary school. At the conclusion of their studies, they must take licensing exams to become licensed to practice veterinary medicine. This means that they will be able to diagnose, prescribe medication, and perform surgery on and for animal patients. For veterinary technologists, these are the people that have graduated from a 4-year bachelor's degree program that is American Veterinary Medical Association accredited. At the conclusion of their studies, they will take a credentialing exam and will work and practice as medical technicians or the equivalent of animal nurses. Licensed veterinary technicians, or LVTs, these are the people that have graduated from a 2-year technical program that is American Veterinary Medical Association accredited. At the conclusion of their studies, they will take a state and national licensing exam. Passing both exams will render them their title of LVT, or Licensed Veterinary Technician. They will also work in practice as the equivalent of an animal nurse. They will have a more supervisory role and are trusted with more responsibilities. This is what we hope to achieve at the conclusion of our program. Veterinary technologists and licensed veterinary technicians will complete their program and exams having a basic yet well-rounded knowledge of the job, so they will perform in the veterinary clinic or setting. They will have a complex role as outlined by the Texas Board of Veterinary Medical Examiners. Licensed veterinary technicians may, under the direct or immediate supervision of a veterinarian, suture to close existing surgical skin incisions and skin lacerations, induce anesthesia, extract loose teeth or dental fragments of companion animals with minimal periodontal attachments by hand and without the use of an elevator. Under the direct and immediate or general supervision of a veterinary technician, we may draw blood and take samples for the purpose of testing and diagnosis, perform a task assigned by the supervising veterinarian under a level of supervision determined by the supervising veterinarian, immediately supervise a certified veterinary assistant or veterinary assistant who is performing a task or other task that may be related to animal care as assigned by the supervising veterinarian according to the protocol established by the supervising veterinarian. In this situation, the LVT will be held responsible for conduct that violates laws, including board rules related to the practice of veterinary medicine. Please understand that the scope of practice rules are specific to Texas. To understand the scope of practice rules and laws for your state, please reference your state veterinary board as they may vary. You may also hear the titles of certified veterinary technicians, such as CVTs, or registered veterinary technicians, RVTs. These are variations similar to the title of a licensed veterinary technician. References to these mostly vary by state. In Texas, we have moved towards using LVT as the official term. One thing to understand is that LVTs hold a license separate from that of the veterinarian, unlike CVTs or RVTs. If a CVT or RVT were to go beyond the scope of their allowed responsibilities and cause harm to an animal, it would be the veterinarian of the practice who is held responsible, and the state can sanction or revoke their license to practice. As an LVT, you will hold your own license that can be sanctioned or revoked by the state. This puts a greater amount of responsibility and accountability on someone that has the status of being an LVT. Certified and non-certified veterinary assistants. These are people that may have training through distance education, a high school or a college certification program. Others will only have on-the-job training. Persons of this role assist the veterinarian or veterinary technician in daily tasks such as cleaning equipment and kennels.
Now that we have a better understanding of the differences in veterinary career paths, let's talk about why becoming an LVT is the Purr-fect career path. As an LVT, you will graduate with a working knowledge of animal systems, nutrition, diseases, parasitology, clinical pathology, pharmacology, surgery, radiology, and more. You will put this knowledge to good use in practice. Should you decide to go into general, small, and large animal practice, you will use your knowledge to help the clinic or hospital function in its purpose of clinical and preventative care. So what are some tasks that you may carry out as an LVT? A few might include taking client history during appointments, restraining animals for examination and procedures, maintaining medical records, administering vaccines, medications, and fluid therapies, providing nursing care, monitoring anesthesia and surgical procedures, sterilizing surgical tools and preparing surgery packs, positioning animals for x-rays, collecting blood, fecal, skin scrapes, and other samples for lab tests and analysis, assisting with dental cleanings, and client education and support. As you can see, the day of a veterinary technician is far from boring. There is always something to learn and do in practice that makes every day different from the last.
Many people have the notion that as an LVT you have to work in a veterinary clinic, and this is so far from the truth, as there are so many opportunities that are out there. As an LVT, you can work for pharmaceutical companies, in education, in research and biomedical facilities, in animal shelters or rescues, in zoos, for feed companies, and more. You can even specialize as a veterinarian might do. You can build on your position of LVT by focusing a majority of your time in a specialty area and taking a certification exam to become a VTS or veterinary technician specialist in areas of interest. Such specialty areas may include zoo animal, exotics, equine, internal medicine, dental technician, behavioralist, dermatology, laboratory animal, research, ER or critical care, anesthesia, surgery, pharmacy, radiology, and rehabilitation.
Truly, the day in the life of a licensed veterinary technician can vary greatly depending on what you decide to do with your title. This is another component of what makes being an LVT a perfect career path. It is more than just a job that you go day in and day out. You do more than just go through the motions from 8 to 5. There is so much and so many components that encompass your daily responsibilities, and there is so much to keep your mind occupied with that work. It rarely gets boring. Every day is different and filled with exciting new challenges. Not only is the job of an LVT fulfilling and purposeful, but becoming an LVT gives you something to build a career on. There are so many ways to achieve personal growth and so many jobs available in the market. Becoming an LVT offers so much flexibility in this aspect. You can truly take your education and market yourself according to your wants, needs, and passions. You don't have to fit into a cookie-cutter mold and limit yourself to only working in a veterinary clinic, unless that's truly what your passion is.
Having such a vast and diverse array of options for jobs available means that you can have greater flexibility in being able to move or relocate should you want to move to other areas of Texas or even out of state. LVTs that move out of state may be able to transfer exam scores or retake the exam specific to that state and move and regain their credentials by paying required fees. Of course, requirements will vary by state. Nonetheless, the knowledge you gained while in your veterinary technology program and through studying for your exams will be priceless and is not something that would be left behind should you choose to move states. With some time and effort, your license can take you far and give you a competitive edge in the job market and also professionally. Taking the time to learn in the classroom and gain hands-on experience and become licensed as opposed to simply gaining experience on the job can prove valuable on a personal and professional level. It adds greater value to what you do and gives you credibility. It is the difference between being able to perform a job well and excelling at a job. It is the difference between knowing how to do something and knowing how and why you do something. Becoming a licensed veterinary technician betters you overall, betters for the practice or company which you work for, and heightens the standard of care for the animals we love and care for. Nothing can compare to that.
All right, before y'all move on to anything else, I have a few questions for you from our students that are watching today. And the first one is, we've got a student who is currently taking some classes, the veterinary medical applications course, and working to sit for their certified veterinary assistant exam. And they'd like to know, is this going to help them as they apply for a veterinary technician program in college or to later sit as a licensed veterinary technician?
Okay, I would say that that's a really good question. I think it would be beneficial in the sense of it'll give you a sense of, is veterinary technology what you want to do? Because they are very similar and there are lines that kind of cross. So in my opinion, I think it would be helpful to kind of get you some of that like experience, that baseline experience.
Anyone else have anything to add to that?
I know later on we will be going over some of the prerequisites that we require for our specific program. So it might be something that you want to kind of listen to and take into consideration whenever it comes to your plan.
All right. And then we have another question about the specialties. One of you mentioned that you can specialize. So they would like to know how much more time, how much more education is required to specialize versus just becoming a licensed veterinary technician. And we also have someone saying, y'all need to speak up. Speak louder, please.
Yes.
It's going to be about 3 more years after you graduate from the program.
Does it change depending on specialty, or is that just kind of the average?
I think that's about the average for every specialty.
Okay. And then, let's see. I think there was one more question. How different are the standards from state to state? So if I become certified in Texas, is it extremely difficult for me to continue my career in California, for instance?
No, it's not. There's different rules for each state, but that's available on the internet. Just go to the requirements for an LVT or an RVT for Texas versus California, and I'm sure you could find the data.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Remember, speak up.
Okay. So the last factor that makes a career in veterinary technology a perfect career is where the field is projected to grow in the near future. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the profession is expected to grow from 2008 to 2018 by 36%. This indicates that there is a need for LVTs and that due to this, there will be jobs available for those that take this career path. Upwards growth in the field is truly a positive thing. Also, an LVT can expect to earn about $15 per hour, and average salaries run around $31,200 per year. Further, the cost of veterinary technology schooling is far less than that of the cost of veterinary school. Our program, for example, costs just run about $18,000 in their entirety for the full length of the program. Veterinary school can cost upwards of $100,000, not including the cost of the bachelor's degree required to even apply for veterinary school. So as you can see, growth in the field, reasonable cost of education, and increased credibility to the profession due to licensing potential make becoming LVT a highly desirable and beneficial career goal.
So why should you choose our program over others? For starters, we currently have a very good class size ratio. We have 10 first-year students and 10 second-year students. We take courses and complete labs with our respected class. With such small class sizes, it makes it very easy to ask questions and to get one-on-one attention when needed. The small class sizes also make the experience that we have with our peers special in that we have become like a small family unit. We know each other very well and work together to ensure that we all understand the concepts required of us. We study together, rely on each other for support, and have built strong, lasting friendships that we know are just the beginning of the networking we will partake in once in our future jobs.
We also get hands-on experience that add immeasurable value to the knowledge we gain in the classroom. Some of our opportunities are provided by our professors and teachers that strive to make sure we are given the best and most helpful opportunities. These can include field trips to conventions and symposiums, class trips to relevant facilities, participation in donkey castration and large animal experiences, or even drug testing livestock animals at county fairs. Other opportunities are provided through our relationship with the community and our partnerships. Some examples of these include our various summer clinical rotation sites at local veterinary clinics and hospitals in our region. At these sites, we get insight into how a clinic functions and have the opportunity to practice some of our skills. We also have a wonderful relationship with the Bryan Animal Center, a local shelter in which we are able to practice working with live animals. We get to practice using computer software such as Avamark, restraining patients, working up patients, collecting blood, fecal, and other samples, administering rabies vaccinations, going on animal control ride-alongs, and more.
Additionally, we have a working and valuable relationship with Texas A&M University's College of Veterinary Medicine. We participate in laboratory experiences alongside veterinary students, and in the latter half of our second year, we partake in clinical rotations as well. This is where we gain valuable working experience like no other. Currently, we are the only veterinary technology program to have built such a relationship with Texas A&M University, which is very special in that Texas A&M has the only veterinary school in Texas. Truly, this helps our program stand out from so many others.
And finally, we have a relationship with the Children's Museum of Brazos Valley. We have an exhibit at the local museum that is intended to spark interest in our field as a whole for young children and help spread the word of what great things veterinary technology has to offer. We also collaborate with the museum that puts on children's workshops to promote outreach within the surrounding community. And just last month, for example, we hosted a Barks and Books event at the museum to get children excited about pet ownership. We read children's stories to museum visitors and had some homemade dog toy craft making sessions, and it was a lot of fun.
In conjunction with our program, there is a lot of opportunity to participate in our Veterinary Technology Student Organization, or VTSO. As an organization, we partake in community events such as Wienerfest, Pawpalooza, FFA leadership and career development events, local Christmas parades, and opportunities such as this webinar we're currently recording. Typically, these types of events help us in recruiting and spreading the word about our wonderful program. In addition to allowing us opportunities to volunteer with the Bryan Animal Center to get animals adopted to good homes and promote good pet owner education. We also have regular social events to strengthen our bonds as a program, and we engage in fundraising to also better our program. For those interested in something similar to that, they can join before being accepted in the program. There's also pre-VTSO, which serves as a feeder organization for those who aspire to be in our program one day. VTSO also welcomes pre-VTSO at our events to stimulate their interest and get them excited about what is to come once in the program.
All right, we've got some more questions. I'm going to pause you again real quickly. First of all, they'd like to know, you discussed how it costs less to go to school to become a licensed veterinary technician, but what's the pay like, and what's it like in comparison to a veterinarian? And then in comparison for becoming specializing in something within the veterinary technician world. Did you get all that? So pay, pay for someone who's specialized, and I don't know if there's a title for that, but for specialization, and then pay of a veterinarian.
Okay, so for an LVT, it is a lot less than a veterinarian. I believe there are some statistics here about.
Yeah, it's about
20,
31,200. That was the average.
Yeah.
And I know it can go upwards for an LVT. It just kind of depends on what you do. I know with specialization, obviously there would be an increase for that, but I think it kind of varies where you kind of go, because there's so much diversity as to what you could do. You could work in lab animal, you can work in equine, you could work in small animal, and it just kind of, you know, there's low cost spay and neuter clinics, like somewhere, I think it depends on where you go. There's not like a definite, like, this is how much you're gonna make, but,
So would you say in the 30s as an LVT?
That's on the low end. The high end is about 90 to 95,000 per year. And some institutions or hospitals will pay for your additional credentialing and CME credits. And if you want to specialize in cardiology, they will pay up to a certain amount or the full amount for the specialization.
Fantastic.
So we're none of us are doing it for the money. We're doing it because for the passion for the animals. And I know money is important, but don't get in this career just for the money. Do it for the love of the animals.
All right, great. And then let me see, we had one more. Oh, education. Large versus small animal. Is there a different education, different requirements if you want to be focusing on large animal versus small animal?
Our specific program goes through both. We even have an exotics class that handles lab animal as well. It just kind of varies. After you graduate from our program, you can go on with your education specializing in either small or large animal, or even exotics. It just kind of depends on which school you go to after you graduate from the program and what they offer.
And then kind of a follow-up question to that education question is, what do you think is the most challenging part of studying to be a veterinary technician?
I would say for me, it's kind of trying to balance like how much there is. You know, you have pharmacology, you have anatomy, you have nutrition, and the way our semesters are kind of broken up, they try to make it to where you can kind of manage and everything kind of builds upon each other. But I think for me, it's just how vast and how much there is to learn.
Yeah, time management is a really big thing. You just learn how to manage your time between all your classes, and it's not like if one's super hard, you can spend more time on that one, but still don't spend less time on an easier class.
And figuring out how you learn. That's
Definitely.
Well, if it works best for you in your schedule, and if you work at the same time as taking school, it's definitely has a big part on time management and how much you study, and what you put into the program is what you'll get out of. So you really got to make it a priority.
And with Blinn's program, I'm a first year. It's our first semester. It's tough, but we have a well-rounded curriculum. We've got good professors. We've got good support, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and they give us time to study. They give us time to socialize. They give us time to volunteer in the community. They give us time to de-stress, and it's a great program.
And all of our instructors are very approachable. You can always go up to them and say, I don't understand this, and they're absolutely willing to go back over it again. Their doors are always open. They're probably some of the kindest people I've ever known.
That's great. And this one last question. Y'all kind of touched on this with the great program you have here at Blinn, and it really sounds like a fabulous program. People all over the state, I imagine, from other states too, come to be a part of this. And so this student would like to know, is there any other advantage? Obviously, we have a great Blinn program here. Is there another advantage to becoming licensed in Texas versus somewhere else, like maybe New York or any other state?
I'm not really sure how to answer that because I don't live in New York. I think more so, I think across the board, I mean, being an LVT is pretty similar. I mean, obviously from state to state, there's going to be differences and there's going to be benefits, but I'm not really sure how to.
I'm not sure.
Y'all think it's great, but I don't know. All right, we'll let y'all continue with your program.
Thank you. Truly, with our strong curriculum and all of our connections with the community, this program provides a well-rounded and highly fulfilling experience that does well to prepare you to sit down for your state and national licensing exams. Our passage rate is about 97%. So now let's talk about how you can apply. First, you must start by attending one of our in-person or online informational sessions. This is where you will receive the application packet that contains all the necessary documents to apply. This packet will include your application questionnaire in addition to documentation requirements to complete for supervised veterinary experiences, which is about 40 hours of a minimum requirement, general animal experiences, and community service hours. Additionally, you will need to provide ATI T-scores and sealed copies of all college transcripts. All of this will be enclosed in a 9x12 envelope.
There are also prerequisite courses requirements that need to be completed prior to application. You must complete the prerequisite courses with at least a C in each course, and math and science courses must have been completed within the last 10 years. These prerequisites include biology 1406, math 1314 or 1324 or even higher, and English 1301.
You can strengthen your application further by gaining more animal veterinary community experience hours, having a GPA over 2.5, holding existing degrees and certifications, holding past military service, and by completing co-requisite courses will count towards program requirements ahead of time. These courses include Biology 2420, completed within the last 3 years, Speech 1318, and Philosophy 2306.
Applications are typically due May 31st of the year in which you wish to apply. So turning in an application this coming May of 2018 would be in time for fall of 2018 enrollment should you be selected. Application packets are evaluated and scored as they are received, and those with adequate scores will be contacted for an interview. The interview is the final stage for selection into this program.
We hope that we have sparked or contributed to your interest in the field of veterinary technology and hope that you will join our field, whether it's through our program or another. Becoming a licensed veterinary technician is the best way to maximize and gain and contribute to offers of the field. So go beyond seeking a job and set your sights on building a perfect career with us. You won't regret it. And should you be interested in seeking our education in veterinary technology, NAVTA, or the National Association of Veterinary Technicians in America, has a list of accredited schools throughout the U.S. and Canada, and more information can be found at www.navta.net.
For more information on application requirements or information about our program, you could visit our website. Please, I encourage you to go to the website at a minimum, or better yet, if you're in the state of Texas or in the Central Texas area, please attend an information session or schedule a tour of our wonderful facility. Our next veterinary technology information session will be held on Thursday, November 30th, 2017 at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time at Blinn College at the Bryan Post Office campus. Now, are there any questions that we haven't answered?
We do have some questions, and the first one is, are there continuing education requirements as a licensed veterinary technician?
10 hours per year, and you could do those by going, if you could go to conferences, they provide lunches. If you work for a veterinarian and you've already graduated, or if you're working for a lab or a hospital, they will pay your way, and you get free goodies. Katie can explain a little bit about that too. So you make contacts, you meet other professionals. This is a professional program. This isn't just an associate's degree that you can hang on the wall. This is professional, and it opens doors for you.
Fantastic. Anyone else have anything to add about continuing education?
During our program, we actually do come to like A&M or some other conferences and stuff that actually have CE classes and everything. And during our program, during clinical pathology, we actually went online to IDEX and registered with them, took some online courses, and some of those actually count as CE credits. So you can put that on your resume after you graduate too. So this program actually helps you get a jump start on trying to find CE credits.
All right, great. Okay, and then this is going to be a fun one, and I'm going to let each of you take a turn. They want to know what inspired you to choose this career path.
Oh, that's a good one. So personally, I work for a lab animal facility here at A&M, and they have a segment or a section where they have specialists. And so I was really interested in that and kind of wanted to know more. And I knew that on our rotations we get to do like clinical rotations each year. I knew that my place of work was where we would have one of the rotations, and our exotic class is actually held there. So I kind of wanted to find out more, and now I'm just like in love, and now I don't know what I want to do because I want to do everything.
I guess for me, I've always just had such a big passion for animals, and I knew I've always wanted to work with them, whether it was as a veterinarian or an LVT. And I decided on LVT because I guess they have more of the hands-on experience. And I don't know, I've always loved animals and just wanted to work with them.
For me, I mean, the I love animals is like first thing that everybody goes to, but I'm a very why person. I need to know why, and so when I found this program, it was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. So it was like a light at the end of the tunnel for me to like, I'm finally going to get the information that I want to be able to answer those questions that I always have about animals and why this happens and why that happens. So.
Originally, since I was really little, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And then whenever I got into high school, about my junior year, I decided that I wasn't sure that's what I wanted to do anymore. I didn't think that I had what it took to get through vet school. And then I was like, well, what about veterinary technician? And I found this program online. Me and my mom came down a couple years ago and went to an information session. We took a tour, did everything, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was awesome. They make you feel extremely welcome, even at those informational sessions. And then that's what I just kind of decided to do, is become a veterinary technician.
For me, I was really fortunate to have a high school in a school district that had a career technology center with career-based classes, and I've always wanted to become a veterinarian. There's no one in my family that's been a vet, and I just had that animal love that everyone did. And I got into the program with to actually shadow at a veterinary clinic for a year. And it was my senior year of high school, and I fell in love with veterinary technician. I love the hands-on aspect. It was a lot more than I thought that came with the job other than being a veterinarian, and I just felt like that's really where I was supposed to be. So I came to Blinn and Texas A&M, and I found out about this program, and I was like, yes, this is where I need to be. And ever since then, I just feel like I'm in the right place. I love going to school. I really feel that fire that just really wants me to do what I need to do to be a vet tech.
My story's a little bit different. So I was raised on a ranch. We grew up raising cattle. We had every breed of dog you could ever imagine: goats, sheep, chickens, horses, cattle, deer, squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, possums. We had every animal, and I was always the kid that would bring crawfish home, or turtles. Mom, can we keep this? And she instilled in me that love of animals and love of people go hand in hand. It's been a long journey, but this is a good program. Sorry, I got emotional. This program's giving me hope for a brighter future and to make a difference in the world. Sorry.
That's okay. That's some true passion for this career. That you don't see that in everything. Thank you.
It's a good professional program. There's good people. They're hardworking. They love with all their heart, and they give their best in everything they do.
Absolutely. All right, so next one. You ready? You'll get to go again. Get ready. They want to know what you want to do when you graduate. Are you going into private practice? Are you going to go into education? What are you going to do?
I think for me, I might go straight back to the job that I'm still kind of in as a student worker, but I'm going to go back and kind of see where that career will take me, but I might keep my options open because, like I said, I love everything.
I think I'm going to go into a practice that has small and large, because over the summer we get to do several weeks of clinical rotations, and I fell in love with working with large animals. But I still love working with small, so I would like to go to a clinic that has both.
I am a true believer in being able to make the biggest impact with what you do, and I want to include all of it, small, large, and exotics, but I also want to find a place that does some sort of rehabilitation, wildlife, to kind of give back to this world that we've come into, and since I love animals, I want to do it for them.
I actually am wanting to go into exotics, especially like birds and fish and reptiles. So I hope that one day I can get in with an aquarium and work and help take care of all those animals in there, even the little fish.
At first I wanted to do just small animal just because that's what I've been used to, but I'm looking more towards, since being in this program, doing small, large, and exotics. I absolutely love exotics. I have 3 turtles at home, so it's preferably somewhere with turtles. And maybe possibly even a lab animal of some sorts. I do also really enjoy microbiology, so as of right now, I'm a little confused, but definitely something that encompasses it all.
My focus would go into obesity, animal behavior, and diabetes, because that seems to be more prevalent in humans. And if I could go into clinical research on those 3 things, I think then I could help make an impact. Hopefully get to stay here in College Station, which is one of the best places also in the United States to live, and is a growing community. If I work hard, then I will get back. If you give good, you get good. If you give bad, you'll get bad. So always do your best.
That's just so exciting to see that this one career path has so many different branches, and each of your individual personalities has an opportunity to spread out and do something different. And that's really exciting, and I hope it's exciting for our students as well, that they get to see how many things they can do. It's not just working in a clinic with dogs and cats. Everything from aquariums to research to education and beyond, and that's really fascinating. Great things. So one more thing, I think we have time for at least one more, and they want to know, you can all answer or whoever wants to, they want some recommendations of what to do to help them get into a program like this or this program. And we know, we already heard about academics. We know we've got to focus on science and math. We know we've got to get good grades there and do well in our schooling. But what else can we do? Clubs, activities, work experience. Let us know what else we can do to get to where y'all are.
I would definitely recommend going to shadow at a vet clinic. Just go up there, tell them what you want to do, and ask if they have an opportunity to shadow them. That would look really good on an application to join this program. You could volunteer at an animal shelter. I did that as well.
And also going to the veterinary clinics and everything like that, and getting to shadow, see what it's all about. It actually really helps you decide if this is what I really want to do or not.
Yeah, I would definitely put your name out there, really reach out to some veterinary clinics, see if you can shadow or intern, or even if you're around a college that does have a vet school, you can definitely reach out to them as well and see if they'll, let you shadow or something. And even just pet ownership as well. If you don't own a pet, you can really take that in, adopt an animal from the shelter, and really look into their breed specifics, look into their nutrition, and definitely really put your heart and soul into what you do, because what you do before you get into a program, if you're looking into getting into a vet tech program, will really help you while you're in the program.
Anyone else? Okay, we have
well, as we mentioned before, we do have pre-VTSO. So for students that aren't in our program yet, if you're really interested and you're in the area, you can definitely come to our VTSO events whenever we have those, because pre-VTSO is always invited as well.
Can you tell us real quick, what does pre-VTSO stand for, just for those who aren't familiar?
It's our Veterinary Technology Student Organization, but it's just pre.
Yeah, it's just
pre.
Before you get into the program.
It's basically like an introductory into kind of what we do.
And open to high school students? Or?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's open to people that have to be enrolled in Blinn. But I'm sure that if you're not enrolled in Blinn, that if you're somewhere else in another state or country, I'm sure that you can look into seeing if they have something similar at your school.
Mm-hmm. But the wonderful thing about it is that it is specifically set up to accumulate points for you on your application. So all the events go towards points on your application.
Mm-hmm. And the events that we have mentioned, I know we haven't really talked a whole lot about what those events are, but just yesterday we helped with Brazos Valley Fair and Rodeo, checking paperwork for people coming in for shows. We also have done stuff with the shelter, any events that they throw, and we help them out. And then we just have fun little social events that we invite pre-VTSO too as well.
Anything else? Okay, we have another student who says that they are going to become involved in the FFA Veterinary Science CDE, and they'd like to know if any of y'all had experience with that and if it was beneficial or if you'd recommend it or anything like that.
I definitely did FFA when I was in high school, and I think that did help, you know, doing those animal projects or doing the career development events where, you know, you're practicing like doing surgery packs and stuff. I think all of that kind of exposes you to what you need to be able to be in the program.
It's a great introductory into kind of what it's all about whenever you're just in high school. I think it's perfectly fine to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all have anything else to add? We're about out of time, but we have a minute or two. If you want to add anything else, feel free.
Thank you for your time, and good luck in the future. If you have questions, reach out. People like to help. People feel that if they help you and they see you grow, that's going to be beneficial for them and you, and then you could do the same and give back when you get the opportunity.
And we also have a Blinn Veterinary Technician website that has a bunch of questions and answers. So if you have any other questions, you can definitely refer to the Blinn Vet Tech website, and you'll probably find more answers on there that can help you out.
And I will put the link to that website on our chat room here, so you can check it out. If you want to get online, look on our chat room that's going on right now. That link is there, and you can look up all the information you need, as well as admissions requirements and things of that nature. Anyone else? Parting words?
No, we just want to thank you for
Thank you.
hosting us today.
Yeah.
All right, well, we thank you so much for being with us again today, and we look forward to seeing you next week when Dr. Tazard presents Living with Bugs. And if you want to learn anything else about veterinary science or STEM-related materials, resources, lessons, videos, we invite you to visit our website. It's Purr, P-E-E-R, at tamu.edu. Thanks again for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time.